Good morning. It's Friday the 8th of May. It's about 11:30 and I'm having my morning walk round, just about morning, round Edgbaston Reservoir. Apparently it's a bank holiday today, although it's pretty difficult to tell the difference. When I last had a proper job in the, I'll admit it was in the pharmaceutical industry. The pharmaceutical industry that I now believe is the most corrupt and immoral industry on the planet. But there you go, I didn't know that at the time. But when I worked there, my nickname was the King of Wing, and that was due to my penchant for turning up and just delivering without hours and hours of preparation. And I did that for a reason, because I like to speak from the heart, and if I'm speaking from a prepared script, I speak from my head, and I never know what my heart's going to say until I'm in that moment, so I never used to do much in the way of preparation. I had a great teacher many years ago who told me, know where you want to get to and trust yourself to get there. And I've sort of lived by that ever since. And it served me well. However, today, there's a special message I want to give to everybody. So I have done a bit in the way of preparation, believe it or not. And it's a special message because it's going to be about who we really are, our true identity. And I'm going to be quoting two books and an all-time hero of mine. And I want to talk about this because I believe that we've all been brought up and conditioned to believe that we're something rather smaller, rather smaller than is the reality of who we actually are. So I'll start with quoting my all-time hero, or one of my all-time heroes, a guy called Neville Goddard, who lived during the last century, and he was a metaphysical megastar. There is not one contemporary spiritual or metaphysical teacher today who hasn't been inspired by Neville's work and you know, their work. There's not one that their work isn't rooted in Neville's work. He was a great man. And one of his quotes that I love most is this one. And he said, "Within us all there's a power. It's an infinite power against which no earthly force is of the slightest significance." Let me just say that one again. Within us all there's a power, which is an infinite power, against which no earthly force is of the slightest significance. And I know that Neville was telling me that I have divinity within me, which is it's a bit of a shift from what I was brought up and conditioned to believe about myself. But yeah, my divinity is my soul. Neville called it the Jesus Christ within us. We were just making the point we all have the potential to walk the same path as Jesus if we connect to our soul. And I have a soul, and my soul constantly wants to expand, and my soul is infinite. And when I'm connected to my soul, I am connected to the infinite power, the infinite knowledge, and the infinite love of the universe, and nothing can touch me. These people that they're trying to control us at the moment, they don't have a soul. Or at least if they do, they're so far removed from it that they might as well not have a soul. So they're not walking in their power. And this is, I'm going to quote my first book now. And Mel, this is in your territory. But it's a book that I've known and loved for many years as well. It's a book called Power versus Force by Dr. David Hawkins. And David Hawkins, he looked at he processed the whole of human consciousness. And he made the point that force can never overcome power. True power is what exists, and people who try to use force tend to operate from low vibrations, from vibrations on David Hawkins' scale of less than 200. Once we vibrate at in vibrations on Hawkins' scale of greater than 200, we move into love and bliss and harmony and acceptance and peace and gratitude. And that's where our real power comes from. And I know I connect to my power from love, from connecting with love. At our core, we are all true love. We are all unconditional love. And we're all being surrounded by fear at the moment. And fear is just an illusion. Fear is just an illusion. They're using power. They're trying to use force on us at the moment. They're trying to force us to do this and to that. They're trying to force us to have mandatory vaccinations. They're trying to force us to isolate from each other. They're trying to force us to be scared of each other. They can only succeed in that if we allow them. We can only be treated the way we allow ourselves to be treated. And I'll state once again that force can never overcome power. And if there's ever a time for us to all to step into our power now, by connecting to this thing that we call love, that we all truly are, there has never been a better time. Can you imagine how much power that gives us all individually? But can you imagine the power that it gives us collectively against this bunch of wankers who are trying to control us all? Wow. So I'll be going on for a bit today, so I'll just finish with my quoting my last book, which is my all-time favourite book, and for those of you who know me, it will need no introduction. But it's a book called Conversations with God, that when I first read it back in 1997, changed my life and my perceptions of life and my perceptions of myself forever and a day. And I just want to give you a little quote from the book, and it says that the first law is that we can be, do and have whatever we want to be, do and have. And the second law is that we attract what we fear. We attract what we fear. The second law could be very appropriate at the moment, couldn't it? But let's look at the first law. We can be, do and have anything that we want to be, do and have. And if we connect with our divinity, that's absolutely true. But look at the order that the words come in. Be, do, have. We've all been brought up to live from a paradigm of have, do, be. When I get that, I'll be able to do this, so I'll be happy. Crap, it's the wrong way round. It's a be, do, have paradigm that is the true source of power in the universe. Whatever you want to have and do, be that person first, and be it in your consciousness. I'm just going to end with one final quote, and it was a quote that came to mind this morning as I was thinking about recording this video, and it was probably something I saw, and I've only seen once. I saw it probably 5 or 6 years ago, but the quote says this: "How do you control a planet full of gods?" And the answer: you make them forget they're gods. Let's all remember. Let's all step into our power, and let's all step out of our fear. Have a great day, guys. See you tomorrow.